25 days of design chats in December. Let's go. December 9th. What does mid-century modern mean to you? What do the words mid-century design mean to you? Now, before you tense up and think, oh no, is Della about to tell me that what I think is mid-century modern is wrong? I would never do that. In fact, I'm going to do the opposite. I want to just encourage you to think that whatever your personal path through the forest of mid-century design is right for you. It's a big tent topic. There are a lot of different eras and years encompassed within the term mid-century modern, and it can mean a lot of different things. For example, one of my employees, Lucille, told a story on our chat thread this weekend that she was listening to her kids talk in the other room, and the older one said to the younger, "It's time for us to get dressed up. Let's put on our mid-century clothes." And the younger one said, "Yes, our mid-mod clothes." And she had no idea what they could mean by that. They don't have a vintage dress-up box. So she went in the next room and found that they'd put on their animal-themed onesies, a unicorn and a lion, and they felt super stylish. In fact, then they said they had dressed for success, a term she didn't think she'd ever said around them. But I know she says the words mid-century and mid-mod around them a lot because she works from home and she works for me. So I think that story is the best because basically it just means that her kids have learned to use the words mid-century modern to mean a very spiffy thing that I like. And that's kind of how I see it too. The term mid-century modern, I think I've read, it was first traced actually in the 80s, a vintage furniture dealer who was trying to find a catchy name to put on a gathering of things she was starting to accumulate from estate sales and resale and wanted to market to people, but it was basically just considered old and out of style in the 80s. She said, well, let's call it mid-century modern, and it really caught on. I have since learning that story also seen the term mid-century modern used by a contemporary furniture dealer in England in the mid-50s, but I don't think it really caught on as a term then. In the era that we all love the stuff of, they weren't calling it mid-century modern. They were just calling it contemporary, modern, current, today, new. So we can mean a lot of different things. We could mean something very vintage, cottagey almost from the 40s right during the war, or all the way into sort of mod bordering on the 70s, part of the 60s when things are really starting to get plastic and space age. All of those things fall under the heading of mid-century design. Not to mention, we bring in international modernism styles, and we've got what mid-century meant here in America, what it meant in Europe, in Scandinavia versus England, what it might have meant in Japan, what it meant in South and Central America. There's a bunch of specifics that can be pulled in to create so many different variations on the style. I do think, though, that as you develop plans for your home, for your life, for the furniture you want to accumulate, the color choices you're going to make, the material and finish choices that you make as you go through your remodel process, you want to have a pretty clear idea of what it does mean to you, which is why I asked that question at the beginning. And if you're struggling with that question and you want to have some help to figure out where in the broader category of mid-century modern you fall, then I'd love for you to take my easy style quiz. You can go to midmod-midwest.com/style quiz to take a probably 30-second quiz, just showing you pictures and telling you things that you might like or respond to. Pick the things that resonate with you. There's no right or wrong answer. And you'll get a specially generated style guide that will take you to a broad spectrum of what type of things you might like. And you might fall really towards the traditional, the early end, vintage, time capsule, pure mid-century modern. You want to find a house that's never been touched, take out anything that's been done that's ahistorical, and really make it feel like you're living the dream in 1952. Or you might fall totally on the other end. You like everything contemporary modern, you actually live in a loft, but you have a few pieces of mid-century architect-designed furniture that really make your heart sing. You fall into the camp too. Or you might be somewhere in the middle in a sort of a fusion area where you love some of the aspects of mid-century era design, but you also want to bring in some modern kitchen layout, some fresh materials that might not have been available in that era. You're not wild about some of the specifics of layout, style, lighting that you found in an original mid-century house, and you want to bring it up to date in a friendly way to its era. All of these are good answers, and what matters most is that you know what's the right choice for you. So go to midmod-midwest.com and take the quiz, then come on back and put your answer in the comments. If you've already taken it, let me know where you fall on the spectrum. I'm fascinated to find out. And I will comment back with my answer if you tell me yours. So let me know where you fall. I might come back and talk about this in a couple more days, but just remember that when you put on your mid-mod clothes, your mid-century clothes, it can be a unicorn onesie, and that's just fine. Whatever you like, if you like mid-century modern, we'll find a way to make it work inside the big broad tent.